Hey guys, welcome back to 428 Shibuya Scramble. It's TJ, your gamer girl, signing on. I had to look up how to fix Kano's bad ending. And apparently, well, besides Minorikawa telling him to hide, apparently, Osawa was supposed to run, like, actually encounter him, because this is different from the last time. Because apparently, most likely because I said, "Oh, go back to the office." Like, oh my god. But something tells me the ending is going to be the same, so I'm just going to do this last little, this last little part of Osawa, get all the way back to the to be continued on Osawa, and then do Kano. As he looked around wild-eyed, he spotted Osawa watching him from the alleyway. "Help!" the man called out. "Help me! Please! If these guys catch me, I..." The father's eyes went wide when he got a look at Osawa's face. "You're..." Osawa thought he recognized this fugitive, too, though he couldn't remember from where. "There were some real nasty guys after us," the man said. "I know I have no right to ask you for this, but please, at least help me to keep my daughter safe." "Probably you should go to the police if..." "No! They won't be able to help me with this! Please, I'm begging you! Help me!" I'm sorry, but... "Please, if not me, then at least help my daughter," the man pleaded. Also, I looked down at the girl. Unlike her father, she was calm and reserved. She reminded him of Maria, just a little. Although I couldn't just stand idly by, he decided to help them evade their pursuers. "Alright, follow me." "Oh, thank you. Thank you so much." He led the two back to his house and into the storage shed out back. "You can lay low in here for a while, if you like," he said. The shed was fairly large, and there was plenty of space for the man and his daughter. "I'm so sorry," the man said. "I'm not sure how I can possibly thank you." "Don't worry." Also, I closed the shed door and headed back out to take a look around. And now we're back to this. Two thuggish-looking men came running up to him. No doubt these were the people the father and daughter were running from. "You there," the one with the sunglasses. "You see a guy and his daughter around here? They should have come by this way." There was a hint of menace in his voice. "A man and his daughter?" "Ah, yes, I think I saw them run through here." "Which way'd they go?" "That way." "Sweet, we almost got him." The pair sped away. Osawa waited until they were fully out of sight, then called out to the shed. "Alright, they're gone." The door stayed closed, however. "I'm really sorry," the man called back from inside. "Those guys might come back this way. Is it okay if we hide out here a little while longer?" He sounded desperate. Pitiful, really? "Sure, go ahead," Osawa said. With that, he headed back inside. Evidently, he just wasn't going to get any time alone today, no matter where he went. Alright, I'll see you back here with Kano. Right? Back with Kano. And the bad end disappeared from the timeline. The two detectives took up position on opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. "You ready?" he asked. "Just give the word." There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place, and sure enough, the second man approached the one holding the attaché case. After exchanging a scant handful of words, he took the case and walked off. "Sasayama? I'll handle the guy with the case." "Got it." Sasayama broke into a run, chasing after the man who'd taken the ransom. Kano hung up his phone and rushed to close the distance with the other man. "You there! Stop where you are!" The suspect turned, and Kano recognized his face. He was indeed a member of the foreign crime syndicate that operated in Shibuya. "Is the hostage safe?" Kano demanded. The man's only response was an unsettling grin. Answer me! But though he repeated the question, the man remained silent. Kano took out a pair of handcuffs and reached for the suspect's wrist. Took out his phone to check in with Sasayama. Kano took out his phone to check with Sasayama. I've got the suspect in custody, he said. How's your end? Sasayama hesitated. He got away from me. What about the attaché case? I'm sorry, but he's still gotta be around here somewhere. I'm gonna look around some more. Sasayama hung up and Kano slipped his phone back into his pocket. As he did, the man pulled a knife from his breast pocket and swung it right at Kano's face. Kano managed to jerk away in time, but his momentum carried him too far backward and he sprawled onto the pavement. Damn! The suspect was already making a run for it. Suddenly, a large car of foreign make skidded to a halt, blocking up the man's escape route. A tall Caucasian man jumped out. He wore sunglasses and a crisp suit. Now cornered, the fleeing suspect brandished his knife. Be careful, but Kano didn't even have time to finish shouting his warning. There was a metallic tweet, and the knife went flying through the air. The man in the sunglasses had snapped his foot right up, sending the weapon flying. As the attacker's jaw dropped in astonishment, the newcomer proceeded to elbow him right in the face. The blow connected, and the suspect went down hard. Ow! The fallen man turned his head to look at Kano. His mouth moved as if he was attempting to say something. He never got it out. The man in the sunglasses kicked him in the face. With a groan, the perp slumped down unconscious. Hey! Kano snapped. What the hell are you doing? He stormed over to the man with the sunglasses. The man nonchalantly dusted off his suit. You were ordered to watch and see where these guys went, right? He spoke in fluent Japanese. Imagine that you're a Japanese person who's never been in a situation where you suddenly had to speak to a foreigner. You haven't used English in ages. Your attention grows. You think back to English class in school, but nothing you remember is helpful. You muster up the courage to choke out a stammer. Do you... The foreigner responds fluently in your own language. Nihongo de daijoubu desu. Meaning, it's alright, I speak Japanese. What happened to that Japanese sense of honor I've heard so much about? Who are you? I'm from the U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office, the man replied. An embassy where ambassadors from a foreign country lodge and conduct much of their official diplomatic business. Under international law, ambassadors are granted diplomatic immunity, and the embassy grounds are considered territory of the home nation. The U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office is responsible for the security of American diplomatic facilities and personnel, and provides American citizens in Japan with information on public order. It is located in Akasaka, in the Minato ward of the Tokyo metropolis. He presented Kano with his ID. Jack Stanley. His title was listed Security Assistance Officer. Kano glanced at the car he'd shown up in. The license plate was blue with white lettering. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But the ministry wouldn't just send some diplomat to intervene in police investigation? What's your name, detective? Stanley said. Kano, from the Shibuya precinct. Alright, Kano, I'm going to need you to follow my instructions for the next while. Why is that? Instead of answering, Stanley took out his cell phone and made a quick call. After a few moments, he held the phone out for Kano. Here, permission from your boss, he said. What? Kano squawked. He took the phone gingerly, bracing himself. Kano speaking. You imbecile! What the hell are you thinking? It was Kuze, and he was furious. Understandably so, really. Kano had disobeyed a direct order. And for what? All he accomplished was losing track of the attaché case. I'm sorry, sir. You really think sorry is gonna cut it? You're off the force, Kano. Kano slumped, defeated. He had no reply. He knew he deserved whatever punishment he got. Still, orders from up top didn't trump the hostage's safety. If he could have gone back and done it all again, he was sure he'd make the same call. Maybe that meant he wasn't detective material, but so be it. That's what I want to tell you, Kuze continued. But for now, I need you to follow the instructions of the guy there, Stanley. Do whatever he tells you. Sir? Kano hadn't seen that one coming. He disobeyed orders. That was undeniable. And yes, he knew he deserved a reprimand. But being ordered to tag along with some stranger who just turned up out of the blue? What the heck? May I ask why the U.S. Embassy is involved with this? No more questions, Kano. Step in line. Please just hold on. Sir, I have no idea what's going on here. Kuze let out an exasperated sigh. That makes two of us, kid. So he doesn't know what's going on either. And with that, the director hung up. It sounded like even Kuze didn't have the whole story here, which meant that orders were coming from someplace higher. Foreign syndicate moving the ransom around the U.S. Embassy, to whatever was going on. It was more than just a local kidnapping case. Kano was deep in the middle of it. He handed the phone back to Stanley. A few moments later, two detectives from the MPD arrived on scene. Stanley handed over the fallen criminal to them. You're chasing a bum lead, you know, Stanley said as he watched them carry the man away. What do you mean? Kano asked. I mean, this kidnapping isn't about the money. My priority is the girl's safety. Right now, your priority is doing what I tell you to do. Kano gave him a scowl, but Stanley ignored it. The guy we just, arrested, he asked. He tell you anything? No, nothing, Kano said. He was about to before you had knocked him out! Really now. All trace of emotion drained from Stanley's eyes. His gaze pierced Kano like icy daggers. It held a glimmer of something dangerous. Something Kano had seen plenty of times since he joined the force. He wasn't looking into the eye of some diplomatic liaison. No. This was a man who knew how to kill. Who killed people before. With some effort, Kano managed to regather his sense of professionalism. He didn't tell me anything, he repeated. I just know that he's a member of some foreign syndicate that works out of Shibuya. I probably know some of their hangouts. Show me, Stanley said, closing the automaton. We'll take my car. Kano wiped away some of the sweat he had beaded on his brow as they headed for the vehicle. He was just sliding into the passenger seat when Kuze radioed over the wireless. Okie dokie, folks, listen up. The childish tone was back in his voice, full force. Kano stiffened on reflex. He knew what that meant. So, Hitomi-osawa has, gone missing. So, about Hitomi, the girl we were, supposed to protect, she's, gone missing. What? Kano couldn't believe his ears. Wasn't Tateno supposed to be protecting her right now? Also, Detective Tateno hasn't radioed in. And, we can't reach him from our end, either. No way, Kano blurted out. It can't be. So, yeah, because they continued. He might have gotten caught up in this incident, too. It wasn't like a detective of Tateno's stature to go incommunicado during an investigation. It could only mean that something had happened to him. Something major. He's in on it? I don't know. Maybe. Battery is just unlucky. Super unlucky. And we've hit the next hour block. Right away, I'm gonna do Tama. We need some of her cheeriness and silliness. Oh, yeah. Puddles of burning hammer littered the pavement, shattered into tiny bits of glass. Even if the recycling guy was really careless with the boxes, it shouldn't have caused this much of a mess. It looks like someone came along and actually threw them all over the place. The heck with this thing! I toss away the Miracle Stone, which has clearly brought me only bad luck. We can't have a product demo without a product, which in turn means I won't be getting paid for this whole fiasco. Okay, we can do this. We can figure something out. I try to give myself a pep talk, but I hear the doubt in my own voice. I try to brainstorm anyway. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. I rack my mind for the best course of action, and at long last I arrive at a conclusion. Somehow or another I'll just have to find something else to sell. Like, all of our product is destroyed. I'll just have to find something else to sell. But what could that something be? I try to think. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. You said that twice. I rack my brain, searching desperately for a solution. The Anagachi! The Anagachis? Nah, not exactly a must-have product. And even if we could sell a few, I don't know what that'd say about the folks carrying them around. Best for the whole world if we keep them off the streets. Let's see, what else? Aha! I've got it! I pick up the Miracle Scone. Miracle Scone. Wouldn't that be nice, a Miracle Scone? I just tossed away, clutching it firmly in my mitt. I tilt my gaze toward the heavens and make a wish. Please, grant me a miracle. And my wish is granted. Women! Ladies! Please! Chill! I like one, please! I'll take 10! Mr. Yana can barely keep up with the demand as the crowd clamors for their miracle stones. Everyone is smiling and laughing, their bodies enthusiastically swaying to and fro. You are happy, and you are happy. You are all very, very happy. Standing on stage, I hold up my miracle stone, swinging it like a pendulum as I recite my little magic chant. Oh, that was Tama? You are happy, and you are happy. You are all very, very happy. Bye. This is turning into a cult, I swear. Tell me this doesn't look like something out of a cult. A bit of an enthusiastic cult that's not all doom and gloom and stuff like that, but still a cult nonetheless. They're even chanting. The room vibrates with cheering and rumbles with applause. It really is like a miracle. I think I've actually turned this disaster around. Whoever smashed all the burning hammer, I don't know who you are or where you are, but thank you. I realize now that I'm crying tears of joy. I've never felt satisfaction like I feel right now, seeing all these blissful customers purchasing one miracle stone after another. It feels like nothing could possibly go wrong. Honestly, I'm just grateful to God that I get to be here right now. Something's gonna go wrong. I have the utmost conviction that this is where my life truly begins. It's so long after that epic sales event that I'm hired on by Yamato Health Foods Co. Ltd. Pretty soon after that, I'm on a plane bound for South America. I'm on a business trip to purchase our next product. Amazonian Miracle Mud. What? That's a bad end! My first Tama bad end! Tama prospers in her new life this is one possible future for her, and hey, maybe it's even a pretty decent one. Still, wouldn't you like to see what happens if she stays to the burning? Yes. Yes. Oh man, that means that has to happen. God, poor Tama. Bad things have to happen to her. Somehow or another, I'm going to have to sell some burning hammer. The flyers have already been handed out. People have come to the demo expecting to get burning hammer. I may have to put it into some new bottles, and possibly water it down some. But getting this stuff sold is my only option. My eyes alight one of the cardboard boxes, and I notice an odd mark that's stamped on it. Wait a sec. I've seen this before. I recall something Chidi said earlier. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. The mark on the box is the same that I saw at the shop that's selling the necklace. That's it! I can see if there's more at the knick-knack shop. Guided by this ray of hope, I head for the knick-knack shop as fast as I can run. A glimmer, a sliver, an ever-dwindling light in the distance. Point is, there's not much. And we bump right into Chidi. As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. It's Chidi. Oh, hey, you find it? She asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at 100 yen at the 100 yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting as hard as I am. For now, just stay calm and go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Chidi nods and I break back into a run. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes, I'm in luck! I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. It's packed with tiny boxes. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's burning hammer, alright? There's 50 bottles per box, and there are 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen including tax, I could buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Yana said he was selling the bottles at the demo for 15,000 yen apiece. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts no problem. Whoa, what's the deal with you? The sales clerk eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff! I'd like your entire stock! I point at the burning hammer, and the clerk makes an awkward face. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean, like, all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you gotta help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. Then could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell him I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. After 5 minutes of waiting, the buyer still hasn't shown up. I don't think she's coming, I say. That's odd, the sales clerk murmurs. She said on the phone she'd come by to pick it up just after 1 o'clock. She'd come by just after 1 o'clock to pick them up. I really need this right away. I understand that, but please, it's out of my hands. By now the sales demo's already started. If I come back empty-handed, what was the point of all this effort? Gimme. I've already said I can't do that. Gimme. Would you please wait a moment? Why did I spend all that time trying to hand out samples? Why did I put this stupid costume on? Why did I miss out on lunch? Why? What was it all for? Hey, look over there! It's the chupacabra! Huh? You fell for... Oh my god. Yoink. Seizing the moment, I snatch up the boxes of burning hammer and make a run for it. Hey, hold it right there, miss. Sales clerk was quick to bar my path. Woof! I barrel right past him. I bump him harder than I intended as I raced by. He loses his balance and goes crashing through the display case at the front of his shop. At the same time, I hear something topple over with a thud and gurgle. Some sort of liquid begins to gush from a red poly gasoline. Uh-oh. The sales clerk's eyes go wide, his stare fixed on something on the sidewalk nearby. It's a cigarette. Oh, The burning butt ignites the liquid in a sudden massive blaze. And now for today's news. Shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon, there was an explosion at a variety store in Utagaocho in Shibuya, the cause of which remains unknown. Eyewitnesses report seeing an individual wearing a full-bodied cat costume fleeing the scene in the aftermath of the explosion. Police consider this individual a person of interest and have now ruled out the possibility that this bombing was a terrorist act. Oh dear. Several hours after the incident, the cat remains at large. Is this another bad ending? I think this is another bad ending. You fled the country in the cat suit! Tama wound up as the prime suspect in the apparent terrorist bombing. If the buyer had shown up earlier, Tama's argument with the sales clerk might never have happened, to say nothing of the rest, as a matter of fact. The buyer was just outside the shop at the critical moment. She was held up when she happened to run into someone. That someone's actions at 13:05 were the key to changing Tama's fate. Okay. It might have been Minorikawa. Right! Left! Minorikawa sprinted down Center Guy, dodging between oncoming pedestrians. Out of my way! Catch people see I'm in a hurry! He stole a glimpse at his watch as he ran. It was just after 1 o'clock. The Burning Hammer sales demo would be underway any moment now. He could probably get an interview even if he showed up late. Still, he wanted to get to the venue ASAP, to get a feel for things before they got started. The best time to scope out an event was before it started and after it ended. This was something he'd learned from Toyama. Everything he knew about journalism, the publisher had taught him. It'd been a combative education. Minorikawa learning despite himself as the two men constantly butted heads. Oh, give me a break! What's wrong with my article? Minorikawa shouted. His voice was loud enough to carry you throughout the editing department. Shut up! I told you to rewrite it, so rewrite it! Toyama sticking to his guns. Minorikawa recalled the scene from the days when the two men had worked at the same newspaper, and Toyama was his boss. What's wrong with it? Show me what's wrong. All of it. How can it be all of it? Co-workers stared, keeping their distance, as the pair screamed themselves right in the face. These arguments had become a regular occurrence, regular enough that everyone had learned not to try to intervene. I poured my heart and soul into this piece. Go back and read it again. I could read it over and over and it'd still be the same thing. A load of self-important claptrap. Now go calm down and write me a neutral piece. Taking neither of two opposing sides, the media typically seeks to adopt a neutral stance in reporting the news. Frequently, however, biased reporting still results in one-sided thinking taking hold amongst the general public. In the end, it is up to the individual to make an objective assessment of any news event. Calm down? You must be joking. I write what I feel in my heart. That's the one thing I refuse to back down on. Then it's the one thing that'll keep getting your copy rejected. Aren't you the one who told me to be bold and daring with my writing? Yeah, I did. But I remember telling you to write me garbage. By now, Minorikawa and Toyama were practically at each other's throats. Still, despite these almost daily shouting matches, Minorikawa had never resented Toyama. Not really. How could he write a piece in a way that would shut Toyama up? Trying to figure that out was how he had developed his skills as a reporter. Up until he quit his position at the newspaper to start his own publishing company, Toyama had been a stubborn old man in the finest sense of the term. Now a dying breed in Japan. The sort who'd be inclined to use knuckles before words to remedy a child's bad behavior. Inflexible, but still emotionally brittle. Their signature move is to drive a wayward kid out of the house with an exclamation, "You fool, you're no sign of mine, I disown you!" Only to wait a while, go find the son who's crying down by the river and calmly murmur, "Come on, your supper is getting cold." But then, in order to keep his company afloat, at some point, he had abandoned all his ideals and principles. It was disgraceful. Just disgraceful. Thinking about it made Minorikawa's blood boil. It rankled him to know that such a pathetic remnant of a man had been such an influence on him. He reminded himself once again that he needed to wrap up his current job as soon as possible. By now, Minorikawa was getting close to the demo site. He increased his speed. Oof! He wound up barreling right into someone who was walking into a knick-knack shop. Newly opened general variety store. The place is primarily a second-hand shop with posters inside proclaiming things like, "We'll take what you don't need," and "We buy computers at top prices." It was a girl about high school age. She jumped to her feet, then snatched Minorikawa by the collar. "Hey, watch where you're going!" she snapped. Her upper body strength was impressive, to say the least. The chokehold she had on his neck made it almost impossible for him to breathe. He had to do something fast. Sorry, he bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now. But the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip. "Look, I'm sorry for not looking where I was going." Minorikawa could barely croak out his apology. "Oh, fine. I'll let it slide this once," the girl said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl. "Wait, hold on," she murmured. She stared good and hard on Minorikawa's face. "Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa!" Surprised, Minorikawa gave her another look. "Miku?" "Yeah. Wow, so you do remember me." She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck. "Wow, how long's it been?" she asked. "About 5 years, I think. You still doing your bonsai stuff?" "Nah," she replied. "I gave that up." Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion when she was in middle school. The mention of bonsai likely calls to mind elderly hobbyists, but recently the art is attracting more young people, as are other aspects of Japanese-style interior design. Varieties of cherry and maple, smaller than normal bonsai, are becoming popular with practitioners, as are fruit-bearing trees, such as plum-leaf apple. There are even spherical balls of soil covered in moss, shaped to look like the cute little miniature planets, with the plants growing all over the surface. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. "I want to get strong," she had said. "Strong enough to beat those guys up." And so, Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. "Well, you sure gotten strong, all right," Minorikawa said. "That's the sort of gal I am." Miku handed him a flyer. It read, "Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride." A show pub that began as a side venture for a group of female mixed martial arts fighters who were facing financial difficulties. There's an octagonal ring inside the pub, and the rules state that anything goes between young women who fight inside. Customers are able to take in the fights while enjoying their drinks. Present this flyer for a free drink. "It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks," Miku said. "That sounds pretty fun, actually." Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect. "You should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the reigning champion." Miku beamed with pride. "Wait, you're the champion?" "Yikes, good thing I apologized when I did." "In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by sometime soon. Right now, I'm sort of in a hurry, though." "Oh, sure," Miku said. "Catch you later, then." She headed into the shop as Minorikawa rushed off toward the sales demo. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building, where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines. 100% weight loss guaranteed. This is blatantly false advertising. The message was kind of a mess. It felt like they'd been thrown together at the last minute. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favor of using the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs. Most of them occupied by female attendees. There was a strange setup at the far end of the room, but nobody was on it. It appeared that the event had yet to begin. Minorikawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half of the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them, at least, that ship had surely sailed some time ago. The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing position. Could something like that really exist, though? Oh well. Minorikawa was just going to have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then, a heavyset woman took to the stage and gave a little bow. The girl was from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on stage began performing magic tricks. She twiddled a silk hat and pulled a bunch of flowers from inside it. Sparse applause rose up from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick, then another. Ta-da! A coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words. She's not very good at this, Minorikawa thought. Though whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. This was no time to stand around watching silly sleight of hand antics. Scanning the room, he spotted a man who looked like he was probably in charge. Minorikawa headed over to him. Hey, you, the one running this thing? Well, yes. Well, when's the actual sales demo going to start? Soon. Very soon. Yep. In how many minutes? Soon. I asked for a number. Just, soon. Real soon. This was getting him nowhere. 3 minutes, Minorikawa declared. He held up his fingers to emphasize his point. If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes. If it doesn't start, then what? I'm just gonna go home. I'm going to be heartbroken. I'm going to start a ruckus. I'm just gonna go home. I'm just gonna go home. He kept his tone clipped and cool. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. It wasn't like a silly little magic show now and then. You've got 2 minutes. Hey, a minute can't have passed already. 1 minute. Whoa! Just what kind of watch you got there? Tell me why the demo wasn't starting. No real reason, really? The man was getting seriously flustered. I just, I wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first. Nope, try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, alright. What happened is, the required merchandise, what happened to the merchandise? Minorikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Oh, well, it's just, Time's up. The man's face went pale. Keep out. Really? Keep out? Did that change Tama, though? I think it did, because the bad end is gone. I'm practically praying... Yes, I'm in luck. Tiny bottles, no mistaking noxious liquid. 50 bottles. Whoa, what's the deal with you? Oh, wait, right. This stuff. I like your entire stock. Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved, she says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please pardon my intrusion, but... would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep, and my costume head wobbles all around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do. I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. Surely you don't need this many, though. I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. Oh, wow, the sales clerk interjects. What sort of work do you do exactly? Not that. I don't think she does like... Well, I know what kind of work she does. Well, I'm a martial artist. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it? It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know the place, the sales clerk says, brimming with the sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial arts competitions, right? Hold on, what are we talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of that. I've never heard of the place. It's a nightlife spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. I've been wanting to... Dude, I want that to be a legitimate place. I want that to be legitimate, and I want to... I want to be a part of it. Not the fighting part or the cosplaying part. Because I can't fight for shit, and I am so beyond out of shape, I would get destroyed within 5 seconds. No, 1 second. I just want to go and see this. This sounds awesome. I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members, and is not accepting new ones. Given the buzz about how both costumes and fights are really something to see, memberships that are auctioned off online command quite high prices. So then, you must be pretty strong, he says to the girl. Well, I mean, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me? I ask. A challenge? If I win, you have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? She asks. I intend to find out. Oh wow, the sales clerk exclaims. I have just got to see this. I'm glad to have him egging us on. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge. Sweet. We've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. I've got to win this. Somehow or another. I've got to. I mean, I've got to be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. Alright, here's where we're going to end the episode. Oh boy, this is going... I think this is going to end very badly for Tama. Well, we'll continue this in the next episode. Till then, this is the Gamer Girl, signing off. Bye-bye.